Guy writes, how can I stop being this clingy? So what is that? What is being clingy? And why does it happen? Well, we put a high importance on the other person. So we see them as very valuable. And when we see them as very valuable, oftentimes we get attached. And when we get attached and something goes wrong or something doesn't go how we think it should go, we start to feel like we are losing the other person or missing out. And that is just amplified with you caring for her so much and placing such a high importance on her. And that's why it's important to be really self-reliant. And that's why self-reliance and being able to walk away and mean it, and knowing you're going to be just okay, is such a powerful thing, because it's like you're not as attached to her. And so guys get into those patterns of that fear of loss usually. And so what they think they have to do is they have to get that approval. They have to get that validation, whether that's through like initiating contact every day. And if they don't contact back within a certain number of hours, then it's like it creates a whole conflict. Or they do something like always need like that physical touch. And so the balance between how much he initiates versus her is completely out of balance. Like he's doing most of the physical touch initiating and also the conversation initiating. And these things are just going to turn her off. Let's see where this guy's being clingy and what he's kind of going through. Have you ever thought about your partner doing something normal, like going to the gym or going out to see friends without you? So he's in like the jealousy thing. That's another one. It's like, well, again, fear of loss, fear she's got to go with somebody else because he puts so much value on her and is super attached to her. Yeah. That he has these intense feelings. As them doing that activity over being with you. So, yeah, and you're not making her feel free either. So it's like you are getting upset because she's going to, the gym, and you're not coming with her. It's like, dude, you got to kind of back off and you got to just basically not be a bitch, dude. I mean, it's like, seriously. Yeah, this kind of behavior is never going to work for you, man, at least in the long term. It's unhealthy behavior, hands down, so he knows it. But how do you get over the feeling? You have to adopt that mindset, that masculine mindset of, I'm mission driven, I have my mission, and all my decisions are based off my mission. My mission is number one. When I'm with her, she's number one in that moment. She's number one when I'm with her. But she also understands that, hey, I'm going towards this. This is my outcome that I'm going towards. And, you know, I can walk away and basically, you'll think of like a military guy. So it's like his mission is to serve. And so he can walk away from her in that moment and go serve his country. Even if she pleads and says, don't go, I'm afraid that, you know, something might happen to you. Please don't go. Please don't go. And he says, no, I have to. And she must know that it's like, that's his number one, that his mission is number one. Also, you have to adopt a mindset that you can walk away from her and be just fine. So you've got that self-reliant basically quality. And a lot of that comes from knowing that you can succeed with somebody else. And so how you do that and to build up that confidence is really just to improve your skills. So if you can make progress at something every single day, and so if that's like relationship skills, then you know that, hey, you know, if she leaves me or if she cheats on me or whatever you're thinking's happening when her going to the gym without you, if that happens, well, it's like, well, what's going to happen? We're going to separate, but then it's like almost immediately, if I want, then I can just find somebody else that's maybe even better, because I know how to attract women. I know how to basically behave that maintains that attraction. And so there's no way around just learning relationship skills. It'll give you more confidence than anything, just having that competence that then gives you that confidence. He says, because when they go to these things, I just end up thinking stuff like they would rather do that than be with you. Yeah, I mean, that's his self-talk. I mean, it's just fear. I mean, it's fear talking for you, man. or this pleases them more than if they spent that time with you. I want them to be happy, and if doing those things makes them happy, then great, but I really want to stop feeling like this. How can I be more healthy about it? You gotta actually care less, probably, man. And it's not to say you don't do things that are that make her feel good, that make her feel special, but in just moderation. And that's going to be super difficult, especially when you're in this pattern. It's going to be super hard. It might take you a long time. And it might actually take you failing in this relationship to give you that pain in order to really get that motivation to get better and get more, well, get less actually insecure. It's like I went through this too. When I was younger, I had these feelings, and I failed over and over again with relationships. I had decent success because I had like decent popularity with my sports things. But it was just like I get with women, basically short-term stuff. I did one long-term relationship, but it was on and off, and it was just like we didn't really know what the hell we were doing, and I was acting needy in myself. I just didn't know these things. No one ever taught me. I never really had any kind of role models that knew these things. And so I know what you're going through. I know how difficult and how embarrassing even that can be, especially when you know it's something you want to get over and you just don't know how to change it. And so, me going through those things, I had to just shift my identity. I said, oh, this isn't me, and this is not who I am. And so I dove into relationship stuff. So I basically just read everything I could, and a lot of the stuff was just crap. Honestly, it's just like I applied this stuff and it didn't work at all until I found like Coach Corey Wayne, went deep into his products, and his book, read that one 12 times so far. Watched a bunch of his videos, and then just took from books like little different things about psychology and kind of compressed it into my own thing. I went to a Date with Destiny seminar by Tony Robbins that was in Palm Beach, Florida. But it's like because of all those things, it really shifted my success in relationships and gave me that confidence. And you can do that too. It just takes a matter of working. And so, that's why I really give an opportunity with those products, because it's like if you just apply what's in there, you're compressing everything I've learned from relationships and what all these extreme experts have learned from relationships into one place and one formula that you basically just replicate and get the results. And so you can get that in the description below. Fundamentals you can get for free. And with that, I wish this guy the best, but I know it's going to be tough. A lot of this stuff it's like intellectually, it's like you can figure it out, especially if you're like in my position when you're distanced from this, you're not in the emotion game. Because when you actually are in that relationship, then it's like the emotions come into play. And so sometimes that clouds your judgment, and you start to basically justify and put like logic to why you're doing these things and how it makes sense, even though it's like emotionally, it's just an emotional decision that you've made. And a lot of times those emotional decisions don't support us. That's kind of my job as far as making these videos, is like pointing out why you're making those decisions based on emotions. And basically just pattern recognition. And once you recognize those patterns, you can recognize where the relationship's going.